So Elon Musk just bought Twitter. Pretty crazy, right? Give me your reaction to that below as we go on with a video full of a lot of things that people are missing in this whole equation. Now, I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what Elon Musk has promised to change about Twitter. Some of that I think is good, some of that's bad, and I want to know how you feel about it as well. But first, let's get started with this, because I think a lot of people are missing one major point here. That point is this. Why did Twitter do such a big, abrupt 180 here? They said, no, we're not going to do this. They promised their employees this wasn't going to happen. They had a complete screeching session of activist employees. And they said, don't worry, we're going to be fine here. Meanwhile, a complete 180. Why? CNBC is the only news outlet that I've seen hit the nail on the head here. Here's why Twitter made this deal.
Yeah, I would think this suggests the earnings we're going to see on Thursday aren't going to be great. And one of the things that Twitter put in this press release was there will not be a conference call or an analyst call tied to those earnings, as there normally would be.
There you go. There's not going to be a conference call. There's not going to be an earnings call on Thursday because they sold the company to Elon Musk. Why did they do this 180? It could have been a shit show when it comes to the earnings that were coming up on Thursday. And with Twitter stock right now at 51 bucks, if they dismiss this Elon Musk offer, they could have seen the stock tumble into the 30s or something. Now you've got a lot of investors who are pissed off because they missed out on the opportunity to make a whole lot of money with an easy Elon Musk deal. But they didn't want to end up like this.
Netflix shares losing a quarter of their value in the pre-market after subscribers began the year by leaving the service. Julia Borson joined us now.
This is exactly what they were worried about. Netflix tumbling, companies going private, that offers them a lot of advantages, and it pleases the investors. The stock share over the course of the year, as you can see right here, hasn't been fantastic. If you go back into the end of last year, you're looking at about 44, 45 bucks. And until you can see right here when Elon Musk got involved, it went from the 30s up to 50. And they were worried about going back down again. This is all about the future of this company, and they weren't going to have a good quarter. What is Elon Musk saying? Before we get into what's he going to do and what other people are freaking out about this, Elon Musk said, I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that's what free speech means. What do you think about that quote? Let me know below. I think this is a great quote from Elon Musk because this is how the internet used to be. Circa 2005 or so, people were much more willing to engage with ideas that they didn't agree with. And they didn't want to always go for scalps and banish people who they disagreed with from all of these public platforms. Now, there's about 50% of this country that feels marginalized, whether you agree with them or not, in the big tech specter. This could be a place where free speech is promised, as much as you can have free speech on a platform with conversations and, of course, rules. What else did Elon Musk say? This is pretty good. He said, free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Now, that might mean a lot for some of the other big questions that he's going to be facing here soon. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating spam bots, and authenticating all humans. These are important points that are going to come up in a moment. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. What's everybody else saying? Here is Parag Agrawal from Twitter, the current CEO, who hasn't had the job for that long. Jack Dorsey didn't step down too long ago, and he may not have it for much longer. Twitter has a purpose and relevance that impacts the entire world. Deeply proud of our teams and inspired by the work that has never been more important, he said, responding to the fact that the board reached a deal. The board unanimously accepted the deal from Elon Musk, which he said was his last and final. Now everybody's screeching. You're going to have people like this New York Times columnist and blowhard Charles Blow. He says, looks like I'm about to say goodbye to Twitter as well. Bet me right now, these folks, Charles Blow included, they're not going anywhere. Do you think they are? Looks like I'm about to say goodbye to Twitter as well. I've been pulling back a bit from social media anyways. This will be just the push I need to go all the way on this app. People are promising they're going to go elsewhere. And this Miranda Kamdar, who's also from the New York Times on the editorial board, says it's a step toward my leaving this platform. I will not stay on Twitter if Elon Musk owns it. Woof! Brave souls here, headed out of the Twitter mines. Here's Jeff Gibbard, who is an author and speaker, and he says, Many of us talk about leaving Twitter. May I suggest we consider Tumblr as our new home? If you've ever been on Tumblr, you know you're in for a wild ride there. You're going to offend somebody in every possible community that you engage in. The platform is terrible. The interaction is dog shit. Overall, it's just not great. It's just not great overall. And you're going to find way more problems on Tumblr. Here's what I said Elon Musk might have to worry about. And out come the wolves, as they say. When you step on stage here and take over a platform that one side of the political aisle really, truly loved and seemed to have a better grasp on and seemed to get banned a whole lot less, well, they might come after you. The New York Times and FX are going to air an expose on Elon Musk, this says. This is coming up not that long from now, May 20th. So I mean, they probably already had this in the can or were working on it, but I'm sure they couldn't be more excited now to have something to run down Elon Musk with. All right, to those changes at Twitter, but some of the big questions people are asking, here's House Republicans. Hey, at Elon Musk, they said this morning, it's a great week to free at real Donald Trump. Of course, the former president's account is suspended, and there's no sign that that's going to change anytime soon. I don't think Elon is going to unlock former President Trump's account. I think that would be something that would cause more fireworks than he wants to engage with right now. But maybe he does. And maybe he says, here are the new rules as clear as day on this platform. Anybody who violates the rules will be punished and then at some point banned for violating those rules. But at least we'll have an obvious, clear-cut reason for why you got knocked off of this platform. And I don't know that it was that clear-cut, even though we know some of the things that were going on at the time, of what particular thing it was from the former president that led us to here. So Elon has talked before about the edit function. The edit function on Twitter, not only is it something he's been pushing for and has polled about, but it's also something that shortly afterwards, Twitter assured us all we were working on this anyways. Who knows if that's true or not. He also said to a long chain of tweets, just a huge thread that was online. My most immediate takeaway from this novella of a thread is that Twitter is way overdue for long-form tweets, talking about bringing back the option for you to post something more lengthy on Twitter. That could be something Elon's moving for. He really wants to get rid of the spam bots, which is going to be incredibly hard to do. But what I think we need to go back to is Elon Musk's statement. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features. Making the algorithms open, I applaud that. Let me know if you agree. I think that's a great idea. And I've heard about maybe making it possible for people to change the algorithms that they use to show different things, highlight different things, and then people could vote on potential algorithms for a real open marketplace on a social landscape for the first time ever. You know, not only will this be a public algorithm, not some secret locked away like KFC's 7 Herbs and Spices or whatever. It'll be something public, open. We know what the filtering mechanisms are that are either promoting or demoting content on your social feed. But he said making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Authenticating all humans is the key part there. This could be something where Elon Musk wants to swipe away at anonymity. Remember, he's got people who short Tesla. He's got a lot of detractors on the platform. He'd probably like to unmask or get rid of some of these people, and that could be a nice side effect of all of this. If you authenticated all humans via a driver's license or something else, two-factor authentication, I don't think gets the job fully done for what we're talking about with the weight of the word authenticating here. But the spam bots are a big deal. He also said, I'm worried about the de facto bias in the Twitter algorithm having a major effect on public discourse. How do we know it's really happening? And then content moderation as well. What to do here is a big question. You're juggling the idea that you want to have open and honest discussion from all points of view, and you want to have viewpoint diversity. That's a great thing to aspire for. You also need to remember you don't want to have utter chaos. You still need to have rules that if people step on those rules or break those rules, and they got to be fair rules, that then they'll receive some kind of punishment, whether it's a suspension or a ban. Otherwise, you have all-out chaos. For God's sake, even 4chan has rules. You can't post My Little Pony spam there because it derails the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Elon is now grabbing the reins. He is in control over at Twitter. Is this because Twitter was about to take a huge dump in terms of their earnings that were going to be released this week? Are you excited or are you fearful? Are you more or less likely to go to Twitter? Let me know what your thoughts are on this story that everybody's talking about right now in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Facebook.com/The News Junkie. Hit follow. YouTube.com/The News Junkie. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching as always. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again real soon.